Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at a very simple setup that you can take with you out into the field. A lot of the stuff that I do at Post Street Studios, I like to do a lot of testing with using different cameras and trying different angles and different shots. And I find one of the best ways is to just go out and experiment. Take a small kit of gear that you've got basically all the essentials. For those of you who travel for a living, you know how good it feels to have just that small bag of essential things, not a living arrangement, just a travel arrangement, and how good it feels to just take that minimal style gear with you. So that's what I'm going to be talking about here. I'm going to take you on a little journey with me to a place called Central Park, and that's in Florida, not New York City. So stay with me because let's go and have some fun out there and just take a look at what nature and a small kit has to offer in the world of content creation. Let's go. All right, so the essential first thing that we need if we're going to go out into the field and do this project right is coffee. Now, I'm not going to make you watch a whole cup of coffee being made because I know how boring that is, so let me go fast. Done. All right, so here we are at Central Park, and one of the cool things that I like to stop by every time is up there is a Osprey nest where they built a platform. Really cool. I've got a Sony FX30 with a 55 to 210 millimeter lens, which is barely enough to reach up there, but a lot of times, I believe it's the male is out there. I just saw him take off. He'll come back in and we can get a couple shots of him when he's coming up to the nest, which is really cool. So with this Sony FX30 with the 55 to 210 millimeter lens, when I take it all the way out to 210 millimeters, like the micro shake, the micro jitter that you get on it is incredible. And I'm trying to do this handheld. There's no way I can hold it still enough just like this. So I'm resting the back edge of this bracket on the railing. And then I'm taking this other hand and I'm kind of making a fist and putting it under the front of it, if you can see that. And that gives me 2 points of contact underneath the camera. And then I'm holding the top handle as well to just try and steady it a little bit. And that gives me almost, if I really relax my hands, I can get almost no micro jitter, but I can still see a little bit of movement in there. So very hard. And then when I hit record, of course, I see some movement in there. But that is super difficult. Now, if I zoom it all the way out to 55 millimeter, well, then I can just put my hand under it, hold it. Pretty easy. That's not bad at all to hold it still like that. But the interesting thing is it's in the, when you relax, is when you really see that micro jitter go away, which is important. You really have to relax your hands and kind of keep your breathing very, very shallow and quiet while you're holding it, and just try to relax, because the tighter you try to hold that camera, the more little micro jitter you see in there, and that's just what it just ruins your shot. All right, so here I'm trying to get this crow. Look at that. Look at how hard it is to hold that still. That is incredible. Incredibly hard. But if I bring it back, it's pretty easy. Much easier. Alright, so what's in the bag, you're probably asking? Well, let me give you my quick rundown of a really easy setup that you can carry around with you. Very compact and very minimalistic. So first thing, we've got a Sony FX30 camera. We got a zoom lens, a 55mm to 210mm lens. I've got got a cage on it with a top handle. That way it's easy for carrying. Everything's very secure. Got a remote trigger on top, so that way I got plenty of record. I got that for the camera. Next thing I like to keep on me is, this is a DJI gimbal for the cell phone. I'm not a huge believer in the cell phone for many reasons. One being like image quality, and I just don't like the way they look. But sometimes you can get some pretty good shots. I mean, if you've got this gimbal and you use a cell phone, you can get some pretty good stabilized shots. I just don't like the color and the quality of the image. And that's I use an Android phone. It's a Samsung Note or something like that. Anyway, a couple other things. Always have a pen. I love having a pen, and I always have a little pad, so if I need to write something down, I can remember it. And that's an important piece. Of course, we've got in here, what else do we got? Well, business cards. Absolutely. If you got a business or a film studio or something like that, you always want to have some business cards on you. Very important. Okay, what else do we got in here? A couple options, just because I have the Sony with the cage. So I've got a handle here. Right hand, left hand handles if I need them. I've got pretty much a lot of attachments for this cage in this setup here. I got the, if I want to use my cell phone, the cell phone also doubles as a monitor if I need to see something a little bit bigger. I like it for a monitor for a couple reasons. If you use the Sony monitor and control, it's got like this lag time to it, so it like jumps, but you can see what you're looking at. Some of the other stuff that we use with that is we've got remote control for recording. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3 different types of ND filters for different types of lenses. Always good to have a puffer on you. Might have to puff the camera. Two spare batteries, one for each camera. So I got a full battery charge in the camera, and I got an extra spare battery. And then I've got a couple cables, HDMI cables, backup handle in case I need it. And then I also got a backup lens. I got a Sony, or this is a Sigma 30mm 1.4 f-stop. Very nice lens. That's what one of these ND filters is for. And then I got my case for my lens that's on the camera that you're seeing me on now, and always have some cloths. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a good minimalistic thing. The thing I was going to say about the cell phone before, if I'm using my gimbal, very nice to have a cell phone that's wireless for a monitor if you need it. Like if it's super bright sunlight, you can crank up the brightness on the phone. It's very good for that. And also it doesn't have a wire to connect it, because that throws the balance off on your gimbal. So that's one of the ways that I use that. It's not quite as good as the external monitor that I have that wires in, which is fine on this type of a setup because you don't have any balance issues. But on a gimbal, when you have the 3 axes balanced, that's where you run into problems when you have something wired into it, because it can pull on it and it can throw the gimbal off. It just depends on how you're using it. If you're doing a lot of like flipping upside down, you know, that wire has got to be able to have enough length on it to be free, so it's not pulling on the axes of the gimbal. So that's one of the reasons why I like that. So that's basically it. Very simple kit, very minimalistic. And let's go out and see if we can do some more shooting and find some more cool nature stuff to film. This little gray squirrel coming up. The squirrels out here will like come right up to you to ask for food. Well, that's it. I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that you found some type of new insight or idea that's going to help you shoot better or do better in your filming or whatever you're doing it for, whether it's a business or hobby. You know, just to get out there and exercise creativity is a gift. And if it helps you to grow and it helps you to expand, and whether you're helping someone in a business or you're just doing it for fun, it's all good. So if you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you have any ideas that you want me to talk on or things that you need addressed. And I hope you have a great day out there filming, shooting, and doing what you do. I'll see you in the next one.